Okay, so Cyberpunk has come out and made an official statement about what happened with the launch of Cyberpunk 2077. This comes from one of the founding members of their studio. I'm just going to watch it along with you live. I've only seen maybe the first 45 seconds of it. I'm curious to hear what they say. You can also see here that we do have a Cyberpunk 2077 update for their roadmap. Let's hop into this. Oh, by the way, hi, this is Jake, your resident content cowboy. Yee-haw. Let's do it.
Hey everyone, my name is Marcin Iwiński and I'm the co-founder of CDPROJEKT. When I started CDPROJEKT 25 years ago, one of its founding principles was honest and direct communication with gamers.
I'm curious about what he's going to say because that has been always one of their principles, and I really think that they have been purposefully misleading with this.
When CDPROJEKT Red, the game development part of CDPROJEKT, was born, it added something important to that principle, the ambition to make the best games in the world. It became our mission and something that guided us up until now.
And again, they have made some amazing games. The Witcher 3 is incredible. I think there is a chance for Cyberpunk to get there at some point. It's not there right now. And there has been a lot of, misinformation surrounding this game from CD Projekt Red.
Based on that legacy of genuine and honest communication, you've trusted us and pre-ordered our game. And despite good reviews on PC, the console version of Cyberpunk 2077 did not meet the quality standard we wanted it to meet. I and the entire leadership team are deeply sorry for this, and this video is me publicly owning up to that.
Okay, here we go. He has said, this is about where I got before, he has said that they are publicly owning up to their mistake. Let's see if he admits what they did. I kind of highly doubt it.
Please, don't fault any of our teams for what happened.
Nobody would.
They all are incredibly talented and hardworking.
Nobody's blaming the developers.
Myself and the board are the final decision makers, and it was our call to release the game. Although, believe me, we never ever intended for anything like this to happen. I assure you that we'll do our best to regain your trust. Now I'd like to tell you how the situation looked like from the inside.
Okay, so this is where it's going to get interesting. Because again, everything he said up until now sounds good. I can't imagine they're going to tell the truth about what they did, though, which was purposefully hide the state of this game from reviewers, from the public, before releasing it. I don't see any way he's going to say that.
Cyberpunk 2077 is huge in scope. And I'm not only talking about quests or things you see at first glance. I'm talking about a multitude of custom objects, interacting systems, and mechanics. In the game, everything is not stretched out over flat terrain where we can make things less taxing hardware-wise, but condensed in one big city and in a relatively loading-free environment.
Okay.
On its own, this is a challenge, but we made it even more difficult for ourselves by wanting to make the game look epic on PCs and then adjusting it to consoles, especially old gens.
When he says especially old gens, please remember that he did not make a next-gen version of this game. They did not make a PS5 and Xbox Series X version. They made a previous gen version. So they weren't old gens until just the other day. They weren't even old gens when this game was supposed to release in March, or when it was supposed to release before that. So, I don't know. That's not entirely... oh boy.
That was our core assumption. And things did not look super difficult at first. We knew the hardware gap, yes, but ultimately, I think that time has proven that we've underestimated the task. To give a concrete example, and the main culprit, we had to constantly improve our in-game streaming system for all gen consoles. Streaming is responsible for feeding the engine with what you see on screen, as well as the game mechanics. And since the city is so packed and the disk bandwidth of all gens is what it is, it constantly challenged us. Every change and improvement needed to be tested, and as it turned out, our testing did not show a big part of the issues you.
There's no way that's true. I just gotta say it. There's no way they didn't know what the issues were. Ugh. This is not true.
Experience while playing the game. As we got closer to the final release, we saw significant improvements each and every day, and we really believed we would deliver in the final Day Zero update. Now let's talk about the review process.
Hard cut. Because he has to look around the room going, is any of that true? And they go, I don't know. I don't think you could be put in jail for that lie.
We started sending our PC review keys in the first days of December. On launch day, December 10th, we hit the ground running with a really good start on PC. While not perfect, it's a version of Cyberpunk we are very proud of. At the same time, we're fighting for quality on all-gen consoles till the very last moment. And every extra day of us working on the Day Zero update brought visible improvement. This is why we started sending console review keys on the 8th of December.
None of this is true, by the way. None of this is true. The reason they didn't send console review keys has nothing to do... They didn't think it was going to be ready. They knew it wasn't ready.
Which was later than we originally planned. This all happened while working from home with all the challenges resulting from the COVID-related restrictions. A lot of the dynamics we normally take for granted got lost over video calls or email, and we took that hit too. Now I'd like to tell you about our plans for the future and present a path for Cyberpunk 2077 on consoles and PC.
So I'll continue with this video, but right now, he keeps saying old gen. Old gen didn't happen until just a month ago as I'm recording this video, or 2 months ago as I'm recording this video. Old gen didn't happen until this game was supposed to be out on what he would have been in that point calling current gen. So old gen, I don't know what he's talking about with old gen. It just turned into a new generation of consoles. They do not have a PS5 version. They do not have an Xbox Series X version. They did not hold the review codes so that because they thought the game was going to be ready in time. They held it because they wanted to hide how bad this game looked and how bad it performed. That's the only reason they'd hide it. Otherwise, they'd give them the review codes. Absolutely. Because this game doesn't... I mean, it looks amazing on some PCs, but it still has a lot of bugs and issues.
We have already released 3 hotfixes improving the game, but that's just the beginning. Our ultimate goal is to fix the bugs and crashes gamers are experiencing across platforms.
Mine crashes
Please
constantly.
expect bigger and smaller patches on a regular basis. The first update will be dropping within 10 days, and it will be followed by another, more significant one in the following weeks. We will, of course, continue to work on the game in future updates and improvements beyond that. Our big plans for supporting Cyberpunk in the long term did not change. As for the free DLCs, our initial plan was to deliver them just after the release, much like we did with The Witcher 3. We decided to focus on the most important fixes and updates first, and we'll be releasing the DLCs afterwards. Expect more information in the upcoming months. For those of you playing on next-gen consoles in back compatibility, you can still expect the free next-gen update for Xbox Series consoles and PlayStation 5 arriving in 2021.
Arriving late 2021, as we can see right there. You know, what he's now calling current gen won't even be available until late 2021. So how is he calling it old gen when he doesn't even have a...
We are aiming at the second half of the year. I'd like to end this video by assuring you that we treat this entire situation very seriously and are working hard to make it right. The guiding principles of our company are still core to what we do. We still want to make amazing games and have an open communication with you, our players. For now, our immediate focus is to work hard on making sure you enjoy Cyberpunk 2077 regardless of platform. Beyond Cyberpunk, we have many plans for the future, which we'll share more about when we're ready. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video.
You're welcome. Well, okay. Oh, is there more? The video was created in English, so only the English version will fully release. Subtitles in other languages solely for your convenience. Well, thank you. Okay. Here's what I'm going to say about it. I want Cyberpunk to be great. I don't want bad things for CDPROJEKT Red because I want them to succeed as developers. I think they're still lying inside this video. In fact, I can say for sure they're lying inside this video. I appreciate the roadmap for what they have coming out here, but as you can see, I don't understand how they're saying that this is a previous older gen problem when they don't even have a next gen version of this game until late next year. So all of the old gen problems they're talking about were the current gen they were working on. They knew how bad this game was. They released it anyway, and they hid it from people. I appreciate that they are so apologetic, I guess, but the apology isn't even true. I appreciate this roadmap for updates. I'm excited to jump back into the game when it's ready to be played. So those are my takes on the Cyberpunk 2077 ongoing debacle. debacle, dumpster fire, whatever you want to call it. The ongoing mess over there. I hope you like this video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Let me know what you think in the comments. I appreciate it, even if you disagree with me. This is Jake saying goodbye, I guess. Mwah!